Hey Saggies, how's it going? Sagittarius. Here we are again to do another spread for you. This is going to be Animal Totem Wisdom and Fairies Oracle and basic general channeled intuition. So calling in guides, angels, anyone from the highest good for Sagittarius and Saggy cross watchers. What do we have coming out for the week, please? Ooh. Something turned. Okay. So we have the Three of Wands and the Four of Cups, but it's the crab and the toad. So we have fire and water. So this one here is probably going to be Sagittarius because it's the fire. And this is either dealing with a water sign or anywhere on their chart, or someone that's dealing with emotions. But this is something that happens it's like when you aren't looking. Like you're dealing with these three shells, you know, whatever is in these three shells. And then if you could imagine being underwater and then this other shell just like bloop falls down. And it's like these ones here were waiting for that to happen. There's a specific card in the Fairies Oracle, which I'll be tickled to death if it comes out. It's Luathos the Wild. But he reminds me of a little bit of a frog. I used to call him my slime man. But it's so much heat and so much passion that it melts things. Green fire melts things to the point where you can imagine it being a little slimy, and then melted stuff is often usually sticky, and then when it dries it molds into this kind of like a shell, right? It becomes calcified. And so there's this thing that kind of like dropped out of nowhere that somebody has been waiting for what seems like an eternity, right? And I was just noticing the crab here, who has crab shells they're breakable, but I was talking about it being calcified. Something being so hot and morphed and changed with heat and passion and fire, you know, whether that be via thoughts or emotions or actual physical touch or obsession, even heat, fire, right? That it becomes calcified. Now, these are both things that can break. A crab shell can be broken. This shell can be broken. But they are now, I think the word now is important, calcified together. I don't know why I said together. That might be a timing thing. Like it's like now, because we have the 3 and then the 4. Whoa. Yeah, because over top of all this, woo! We have Solus that came out. This is the sun, but this is like if you could extract an energy of the sun and all things illuminating and all encompassing knowledge, you would get that guy. Now, I just looked down and I noticed the eyes. And that this isn't a smile on his face, but look at the eyes. That is a never-ending, everlasting, like you can look directly, it's almost like you can see through the card. There's something about eye contact. And then here we are again with this heat, right? There's something about eye contact that speaks 1,000 words. Yeah, unity, fusing together. Wasn't I just talking about when things get so hot they get melted and then they end up like remolding or calcifying, taking the form of? This is this heat and passion, and now I'm covered in chills. This heat and passion, this fire, okay, it drops this emotion out of nowhere to where it then becomes something that this crab wants to go and take and potentially like live in or live with or live. What's that? Finding Nemo? Mine, and they like, or they're not. No, they're hey, and they snap at each other. Are those lobsters or crabs? I don't know. Point is that there's something. There's a fusion happening that is so hot that it molds something. If that makes any sense. Yeah. Anybody else coming out for Sagittarius for the week ahead, please? Oh my goodness. Tabira of the waters. You see what I'm saying? This is dropping this thing into the water. And here she is, right? But this is, and I was just talking about this crab turning around and being like, what? And seeing this shell. And the shell is would be the foundation, right? The thing that this fire sign over here has been waiting for. But this is like, you could imagine her reaching down into the water and be like, what is this? And in her hand is the emotion, right? It is the shell. Or rather, this is what's dumped out of the shell. But this talks about emotion. So we go from this is what I'm saying, this eye contact, because I can't stop looking at it. There's something about this eye contact that speaks just 1,000 words. And everyone stops to look, or I just heard I need you in my life. Something about a promise. Anybody else coming out for Sagittarius this week? Singer of intuition. There is, see, I can't get enough. I'm going to put this closer. I wish you could see it better. There is something about this eye contact that there is so much trust that comes out of it. There's so much, it's like, because Solus is the energy of like all cosmic consciousness, right? And that would be never ending, like a fountain of juju, I guess. But there's something about, and it's also about perceptiveness, but there's something about looking into, because there might be, because this crab is all about all of these shells. But there's something about this one over here that is special. But even though his mouth is closed, there's something about the way that he looks at you to where you're like, bam. You can feel it. It's electricity. and you get it's kind of like allowing it to happen, because I think that this toad over here, this fiery person, was waiting for something to happen in a different manner. But there's something about this crab person that they don't say much. That's not how they communicate. And I think that's what we accept, that the way that you're going to get love out of this ball of fire is by trust and basically telepathic communication. I mean, right? There's going to be a reason why this particular moment is important, because I don't think this is going to be like the first time that there's been eye contact. But there's something about this particular moment that kind of it doesn't necessarily seal the deal, but I want to be like, it gives Sagittarius the ability to trust in the situation. And it's like, now anytime that you need an answer from this person, or you are in doubt, all you have to do is look into their eyes and you get, it's basically like telepathic communication. But there's something about it that's so dreamy that it is like a rare, wow, look at how I just put that. Her face is like right at this, and see what I'm saying? Like, this rare gem is just as bright as this. So this is the relationship, and she can see it, right? And she just wants to, it's kind of like you can see her gaze. It's like she's gazing back into his eyes. This gaze happens together. This isn't one person looking at, this is both people looking at each other. And what happens from that is it fuses this and becomes this foundation that both parties can like crawl up in. But she's looking directly at him, like directly into his eyes. And she's up on her knees even. And he's just there, like he's just... It's almost like he's begging for her to read him. Like, please don't make me say it. Please just understand. I think that he's afraid to maybe express. He's afraid of how hot and deep and passionate this is. He's afraid of the fact that it is a telepathic communication. He can feel it. But he wants her to know. And it's like, in somehow he tries to, in the week ahead, this masculine tries to make the effort to make all those things known. Not that he's afraid of those things, but that he does in fact feel those things, and that he does in fact want them. See, again with the eyes. Please understand. This is it's also looking into his eyes and knowing that the roots of the relationship itself go really deep. That this is something that can be rooted and solid and grounded. But again, with the mouth closed, please just read me in my eyes. And so I wonder, I'm gonna get some clarifiers to see what it is exactly that he wants to say. And then what we have a response over here, and why this one is separate. I'd like to know that too. We're gonna get clarifiers on all this, okay? So if you're interested in learning more, the link for the extended is in the box below. And if this is where we part ways, thanks for stopping by, Sagittarius. I'll catch you next week. And don't forget to go to my channel and look for your daily readings for the collective. And yeah, let's go look at the extended. The link for Vimeo is in the box below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. Until next week, have a good one.